Welcome back everyone, and I have another layout for you today, and it's for the Challenge Your Stash YouTube hop that I'm participating in, and the prompt that we had was fall. So going with that prompt, I am using different shades of orange and I'm going to be making some leaves out of it, and that's just a piece of scrap vellum that I have, and I'm just using different distress inks to give me the outcome that I hopefully want. And as always, I'm just speeding this up so that you can see what I'm doing, but without it being a long video, because I really do try to make my videos as short as I possibly can. I also owe you all an apology because the next part of this video I forgot to film, and that was when I stamped all my leaves and I did use my trusted Misty tool, but I thought I was filming and I wasn't. Losing my mind. But anyway, I do apologise, but I'm sure you all know how to stamp, and the stamps that I used were some of my ones that were just in my stash, and I don't really have their names, so really there was nothing much to show you, but I am really sorry. And here are all my stamped leaves. So this is what they looked like when I stamped them on some vellum, and then I did fussy cut them all out, and these are the colours that I used for the green leaves that are there. So I'm just now going to be deciding on which photos I'm going to use. And this layout does change in the sense that I end up using, quite a few photos on this. Not that I planned to do that, it's just the way it worked out. I was just looking at all these photos and I thought, oh, they tell a story to me about the day that she was outside and playing with all the leaves, and some of the leaves were green and some of the leaves were all crinkly and dry and brown, and she was just exploring and having a great old time, and I just was in the background there just snapping away. She's got no idea, and I love these photos because it's a precious memory, nothing exciting, just an everyday moment. But I'm so glad I took it. So I wanted all these photos on this page to tell the story. And it does take me a while to work out the placement of the photos, and I do play with them a bit and change them around. And the only reason why I left all of this in was just to show that, you know, it's okay to play around with different placements till you find something that you like. Take away some photos, add some photos. Whatever you need to do to make it work if you do want to use more than one photo. And you'll notice that they're all cut at different sizes. For my title, I'm going to use these American craft stickers, and they're called Hello Joy. And I just used the word beautiful, and I used the word explorer that I spelt out with some chipboard letters that I had from my stash. And these lovely chipboard trees are absolutely gorgeous, and I thought they'd be appropriate for this layout because they've got no leaves on them. And I thought, wow, I never thought I was going to use these trees. They've just been sitting there, but everything has its time, I guess. So anyway, they're all cut out, and I've got a doily there that I'm just going to be placing there, and I'm just, at this point in time, I'm just playing around with different placements and how I want things to do. Now those journal cards, the 2 journal cards there, they are from the Reject store. I think their brand's called the Crafter Store, and I don't have their names. I don't even think they have names. But anyway, I'm just going to use them, and I didn't want to use the whole thing of that journal card. I'm just going to use that little saying that it had, and it just said, enjoy the little things, which I thought was quite appropriate for this layout. So playing with everything once again, seeing how I want to place things, putting down everything, and pretty much the way it is now is the way that it really stays. I just end up gluing everything down. And I must say, I love these leaves that I made. Just using the vellum, I really like the texture and the look that it has. It just makes it look and feel like autumn. You should really give it a try. I will be doing this again. Just going to use my distress ink to ink the edges of my journal card because, as you know, I don't like white edges, and I just think it makes it pop by doing this. So I play around with that, and then I do believe I start to use double-sided tape to glue everything down. Oh yes, so I start with that journal card and work my way in. So what I'm going to do, in the interest of not boring you to death, I'm just going to cut to the part where everything's stuck on the page. But before I do that, I will just say that I leave a little gap between the photos. It's a couple of millimeters, but just so that there's a break between the photos and the page, which you'll see once I show you the end result. I decided I wanted my doily to be orange, and since I don't even think orange doilies exist, I'm just using my distress inks to colour it all in and make it the shade that I want. And since the colours of fall are a sort of orangey brownish colour, I'm going to be changing the title, which the Beautiful from the Thickers. They were white, and I decided that I wanted them orange. So I start off with just a distress ink, and then I will go in with a gelato because I wanted to just add that bit of a darker orangey colour. So once I'm finished colouring in my title and I've got it just the way I want it, I will be sticking it onto my page. And I must admit, I did fuss around with it for a little while because I didn't want it to be dead straight. This is the paper that I finally decided on using. It's from Bow Bunny and it's Primrose. So I'm just cutting off that branding strip and finally going to adhere all the embellishments down with just some glue. Before I glue everything down, I just take the time to play around with my leaves. And I must admit, I edited quite a bit of this out because it did take me a while to decide on how many leaves to put on and where they were going to go and everything. But this was an important part of my layout as she was looking at leaves on the ground and playing with them and feeling them and tasting them. Yuck, but yes, she did taste them. So I did take a bit of time and a bit of care to get my leaves to my liking. For the sake of a bit of cohesion, I'm just going to be inking this journaling card around the sides and then just gluing it down. I want to add some colour to my trees, so I'm just adding some gesso to the chipboard so that I can then go in and colour them in. Now, I use my gelatos to colour these trees in, but unfortunately, yes, it's another apology, I didn't record that part of it. But I'm sure you can all guess that I used my fingers to colour them in, and yeah, please accept my apologies for missing out on that part of the video. This is now the next day and my gesso has dried and I've coloured in my trees and I'm now just gluing everything down. Now for my vellum, I wasn't sure how I was going to glue them down, but what I did do, because there's ink all around, I just put a little bit of glue along the edges as you can see there, and then I just stuck it down. I didn't put glue all over the leaves, and this just gave it a bit of texture because it did stick down, but then some of the bits of the leaves actually stood up, so I was really happy with that effect. And I did exactly the same thing with these other bigger leaves. I just went straight down the middle, and once the glue dried, really, you can't see anything. Because I was worried about using glue on vellum. But yeah, you can't see anything on the final product. Sorry, I'm really having problems talking tonight. I don't know if it's because I'm tired or what, but I'm struggling to find words. So as not to bore you, I've cut to the end. Everything's glued down. I'm just trimming off the little excesses of leaves that were hanging over the page. And I'm going to take this opportunity, as always, to thank you for watching. Until I see you next time. Bye, everyone.